Hello, it's me, Mickey Giacomini, and I am your marketing mentor for this challenge. How did it go yesterday? So first of all, our first day, you should have really taken some time to really reflect on who your target audience is. That is most critical when it comes to marketing, okay? And you are the person who knows your audience best. You know who wants your products or your services, or who needs your organization, or who would buy your book, or who needs you to come speak for them, right? So you know your target audience best. So hopefully you spent that time doing that. And then yesterday, hopefully you were able to really start to think a little bit more about your basic platforms for social media, because you're going to be able to get a lot of exposure this way without spending a bunch of money at all. And of course, the big piece of that was invite at least 20 people. Did you do it? Did you do it? Not so hard. It's not so hard once you get in there and do it. At first, it can feel a little awkward when you are seeking followers that way, but it's okay. That's what we do, right? That's what we do in order to maximize exposure. Here's why it's really important. Even when you start with your friends and family, then you never know who they know that would also follow you. Okay. So, it's like I tell two friends, then they tell two friends, and so on, right? That's what we're talking about here. We want to keep expanding it. All right. So, that's an important effort that you need to do daily. Make sure you wrote down what your baseline was yesterday. So maybe it was 0, maybe you were just starting, or maybe you had a few already, so that's good. So write that down and see how these efforts every day increase your exposure. Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about assessment and why that's important for your marketing. Assessment is something that we do on a regular basis. I personally like to do it once a month for my clients so that I can see any shifts, any changes that have occurred over the last month. Assessment is really important in any of your marketing efforts, really. But not all of the marketing strategies that you may employ will be something that you can actually elicit uh, data from. Okay, so for example, it's really hard to do a television ad, radio ad, that sort of thing, or even an ad in a newspaper and figure out how many people really saw it. It's really difficult. That's not something that's easy to track, and it's very expensive. Now, am I saying that's not the way to go with advertising? No. I think under the right circumstances, yes, but not always. Okay. You may go for the next 20, 30, 40 years with your business and never have to place a TV ad, radio ad, or newspaper ad. It just is the way it is. Or depending on what your business is, you might want to do a lot of your own marketing in different aspects that are low to no cost and save your marketing budget for those key things that would be conducive for those particular mediums. Okay, so that's something to think about, that we don't want to always just go to those I'm going to call it old school traditional formats of television, radio, news, or print, okay? Because they're very expensive and hard to track. Now, that said, when you decide to get into digital marketing, it is so low to no cost and you can track it. I'm a data queen, so I love to analyze data and see what it's telling me, to let me know what's working, what's not. And it actually, in some of my courses, I do teach my students how to do ads, like A/B advertising, so that they can take a look at what's most effective and so forth, and do it for no cost, and before they go and plunk down a lot of money on an advertising campaign. That's really important. So anyway, I just love data because it really does help you a lot. Some people are kind of like, well, I don't understand what the point of it is really, but it just really helps you to see what your efforts are doing for you. Okay. So some of the things you want to do before you even start assessing is you want to take stock of what are you already using right now. Okay, what have you been doing to promote? I'm just going to call it your business for the moment, just to encompass all those other things I talk about, right? So what is it that you're already doing right now to promote your business? Okay, so write that down, make a note of that, start jotting down, well, what am I doing? Am I putting out ads? Am I posting on social media? Am I just doing word of mouth? You know, what am I doing? Now, there is nothing wrong with word of mouth. Let me tell you, word of mouth is the best form of promotion, and it's free. And here's what I share with my beginner students. Word of mouth has just become even better because you can do it digitally, okay? And so that's why I teach them all the different methods in my beginner course so that they understand how important that is and how you can really maximize word of mouth digitally to get more exposure for you, okay? Another thing that you really need to take some time and think about is what is your budget? Okay, what is your budget for promoting your business? Maybe it really is zero. You know, that happens. Sometimes we build business plans, people build business plans, and then they forget to put the marketing part in there, that promotional piece. People need to know that you exist in order to do business with you. Okay. It's just what has to happen. Okay. But a lot of people forget to do that. So it's important to have that in place, but you don't necessarily have to have this huge inflated marketing budget to do it. But do write it down so that you can be mindful. Even if it's only $5 or $20, $20 a month, right? That is something that you can really be mindful of. Of whatever you're going to do. It's, well, is this going to fit within my marketing budget? I only have $20 a month or $50, whatever the case may be. But I only have this amount of money, so what am I going to use this month for expanding my exposure to try to reel in more potential clients or customers, right? So that's really important. Another thing is, with those efforts that I mentioned earlier, that I want you to write down what they are that you're doing, also write down how they're being tracked. How do you know if they're being effective or not? How do you know if they're effective or not? And so what is your rate of investment? Okay, what's your rate of investment there? And investment doesn't always have to be money. Think about it this way. A lot of times it's time. Now, some of the things I do teach in the beginner course, it is time consuming, but once you get the hang of it, then you speed up and everything, but it does save you a lot of money. So it's kind of like you got to find that balance and what's right for you. What is more important? Is it more important for you to save time, or is it more important for you to save money, especially when you're launching something new or you're trying to relaunch it or just get some traction going? So think about those things. Those are very, very important. Write them down. Write them down. Okay. So I want to go back to assessment just for a moment, because again, some people are like, okay, so I assess, but what does that really do? Well, when you assess the data in your trackable efforts, your trackable promotional efforts, then you can determine that you are or are not wasting time, because you don't want to waste any more time than you have to, right? But what you can do is you can track certain kinds of promotions that you're doing to see if they're worth it, or if they just need little tweaks here and there to continuously go on. You don't want to waste money, so you only want to use what is working. And mostly it's so that you're not spinning your wheels on something that's not working. You want to be able to take a look and tweak and keep going. Look, tweak, go. Look, tweak, go. Or look, tweak, repeat. So that's really important. I always recommend once a month, so that you can really take a look at what is working and what's not working. Okay, so again, to save you time and money. All right, there we go. Here is the to-do list for today. I want you to go ahead and make that list of how you're currently marketing, promoting. Okay, that's really important. Determine how much you're spending on that right now. And just for fun, write down also how much time you're spending on those efforts as well. And then determine how you are tracking the effectiveness of that advertising. Okay, so write that all down. Put that on your to-do list. I've got mine already started for the day. All right, get that going and really spend some time on that because it's going to be really critical for you to be able to do your own marketing. Okay. So for those of you that are interested in the beginner DIY course that I've mentioned a few times, we dive a lot deeper. So we go into analytics and how that can drive your marketing and your marketing dollars, right? And we also assess the best platforms for spending your money on for if you're going to do some paid advertising. We discuss in this class which platforms are probably going to give you the bigger bang for the buck, okay? So that's really important. You want to get the maximum amount and really stretch your dollars on your advertising. So there's a lot of different tips that I teach you. Actually, both in the beginner and I really go super deep in the intermediate class, but the beginner class really starts to touch on that. So you get a bigger idea of how this can work for you. Really important. Okay, so if you have questions, please contact me at my website, thedragonflyranch.com. You can just drop it into the comments, okay? Like there's the window that pops up, put in your name and your email and write out a comment or, chat, send a chat message, send an email, whatever works for you. But do know that you can send your questions to me there. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. And I hope you do great on your challenge today.